Welcome back. Nothing says holiday cheer like dark, haunting, scratchy, atmospheric horror sounds. Courtesy of Grizzly Audio, that's exactly what we get from their brand new sample pack entitled Sect. 157 samples across 14 categories, recorded mixed at 196 kilohertz, 343 megabytes of sounds, including custom sounds built on their custom stringed instruments, which I would love to hear more about. Let's dive in and check out how it sounds. These are just big, mad, massive sounds. Let's show you a couple different ways that you can import these. If you're running in Logic, I'll show you two different ways. One is by using the quick sampler, which will look like this. You click on Files and browse to where your samples are stored, and there's our 4 folders right there. As soon as you click on it, it'll automatically preview it for you. Find one that you like, and then you can just literally drag it in here. We have an optimized and an original. I go with original. And now you have a detailed look at your sample, and it is now playable on your keyboard. Let's check it out. Okay, so you can now change the pitch of it. There's a bunch of LFOs, filters, amps. You can slice and dice it, whatever you like to do. Now, of course, just because we brought in the sample doesn't mean this is going to be an immediately playable instrument, as I'll demonstrate here. Not really what it's designed to do. This does give you a way to manipulate the sample. For this project, I actually did it an easier way. So let's grab something different. Let's go with atonal. Literally just going to click on it and drag it into the empty space down here. Voila, it's created a new track for you. It's named it. It's good to go. It could not be any easier. I feel like the cool thing about dealing with WAV files is that you need absolutely no keyboard knowledge, really no musical knowledge. Anybody can do this. You can literally just drag things in, put something together, make something interesting. I'm just going to randomly go through each of these folders, not every single sound because there's too many, and then I'll show you what I did with the project. absolutely thunderous sounds. I mean, you could add effects and compression to those if you want, but they're good to go. What I did was just drag in a bunch of stuff here and a lot of copy and pasting going on. Let's just play a couple of tracks at a time here. Let me open it up here so we can see what these are. So we got a transition long 3. Now, some of these are pitched and some of them are not, so be sure to check that out. It is marked in the folder. Let's check this first sound. Just a menacing, almost like Jaws kind of thing. We have a percussive pattern, recorded at 120 beats per minute. I always like a little bit of rhythm just to keep things moving along. We got one of their hits. Let's check that out. Hit number 8. Nice big sub hit. We got a drone chord and it is in A minor. Happens to be my favorite key, which is perfect. Let's check it out. You can just drop that at the bottom of your track and just have it just kind of swirl around in the background. Then I literally just copy and pasted and I layered these on top because the sample ended here. Now there's a couple different ways that we can do that. Copy and paste is one. Stretching out the samples is another, using flex time, which I will also show you. Signature number 3. Low E. So it's a combination of like short and long sounds. We got a transition number 14. That's got like a M. Night Shyamalan, James Newton thing written all over it. We got a transition long. This is an A sharp. Short little transition, which would be perfect for trailers or a scene change. We got a drone. These two are the same, so I'll just play this one. Again, I have a little copy and paste to just kind of keep that going. Panned soft right, and then I have this one. So that one was an A sharp. This is an F. This one's soft pan to the left. Now, if I play them together, a really eerie stereo image going on there. Down here, we have an accent. Let's check it out. Almost sounds like a wind instrument. The transition short. In this situation, I actually used the quick sampler and then I played it down lower and I moved the filter down a little bit. I'll play the original sample first and then we can hear what I did with it. So here's the original and here's what I did with it. Just turned it into like a repeated pattern. You got to dive in and you got to manipulate these sounds. Not that they don't sound good, but you got to make them your own. And then I almost did like sort of like a kick and snare sort of thing. This is hit 4, hit 3, and you can see how I copy and pasted it. So let's listen to both those at the same time. Those work really, really well together. Let's listen to this one. Another low sound, short. Super rumbly. We got a riser, which is just absolutely massive. I won't play the whole thing, but you'll hear it in the composition at the end of the video. Absolutely massive. Transition long. Let's listen to that. If we check out the wave file, there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on at the end of these. So you don't want to cut off these tails. Okay, some fantastic stuff. All the dark blue, that is all from this new library. And then I just want a couple other little things. So I grabbed a couple of sounds from their origins library. One was a Bram. Just a layer on top, and then why have one riser when you can have two? two risers layer really, really nicely together. And then just a piano track. Literally, this is all it's doing. That's it, a little repeated pattern in A minor. 99% of the composition is from the Sect library. A little Grizzly Audio Origins thrown in there and one piano track. I'll just show you one last thing. So if we click on this, you can open up Flex Time. And what I did is I actually stretched this riser out. You can literally do that by importing the sample, and then you can just time stretch it out. As simple as that, just because I wanted it to go a little bit longer. Okay, so flex time can be very, very useful for doing that. I did the same thing with this one there. That's it. There are no additional effects added of any kind. There's no EQ. There's nothing. The only thing I did add is a limiter on the master channel, which you'll hear. It's not on there right now. You'll hear it in the final playthrough. Just a tiny little reverb thrown to each channel. Origins sounded fantastic, so I wasn't expecting anything less. These are very, very focused sounds for very specific uses. If you want big, bad, aggressive, eerie, scratchy sounds, this is going to serve you very, very well. The launch intro price is $39 US. If you're an owner of the Grizzly Audio Origins library, you will also receive an additional discount. Information is outlined on their website. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Get on my mailing list for exclusive savings on my course offerings, and I'll catch you in the next one.